It's been good. Getting used to everything. It's been like 3-4 weeks. But as weeks go on, things get better.
What's been the toughest part of that?
Waking up, really. But like I said, it's been really good. So not too hard for me, at least. But it's been good.
Don't let Nick hear you say that.
Oh, I know. I know.
Most guys are just glad to get to campus and start. But we've read way a long time ago that you want to be a leader with this class. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, since I've been here, I've been trying to keep all the guys in check. Just making sure all of us communicate with each other. All of us just hang out with each other. If that means like going out and getting something to eat, coming here, getting some work in, no matter what it is, offense or defense, just coming here, staying together, become a family and part of the brotherhood.
So all the text messages and all that start with you? Or?
I'm not gonna say it all starts with me because I don't really like taking all the credit for like people being here and the relationships that other people have with other football players. But it's a group chat. Jair can say something, Devin can say something, Keon can say something, but all of us have the responsibility to answer that and hang out with each other.
CJ, because you're from just down the road, and because you were a very early pledge to the class, do you feel a little bit of spit it off that question, like a little bit of a captaincy, like somebody who is essentially front and center to lead this class as you get started, understanding it's really hard as a freshman to be here? Have you kind of gravitated toward that role a little bit, especially with your familiarity with Ohio State?
I try my best, come in here, give 110% every day, show that it's really, I'm not gonna say not hard, because obviously it is hard. It's a big transition from high school to college, but show all the other guys that are here coming in the summer. Like I was talking to Hero and Sonny, talking about the workouts this past weekend because they came up here, and the guys that are already up here just trying to set a good example, just to fight. Team up north, ab workouts, just everything, just fight, give it 110% in everything you do.
You know how recruiting rankings can be all over the map, and obviously you're I think you're the highest rated player in the class to come in this year. Does that at all affect the way that you view your prospects to play early in your career? How do you view your own expectations entering, and what you want to achieve for yourself?
I think everybody kind of paid attention to the rankings that's here, but at this point it really doesn't matter because you be #1 recruit in the country. You come here and play horrible and you won't even touch the field. But so like I said, it's all about giving 110%. Jair, I feel like he's very underrated, one of the best corners in the country, but doesn't really show that in the rankings. Same thing with Caden Curry. But yeah, rankings really doesn't mean that much to me.
CJ, you were recruited by certain coaches. They're not here anymore. How did you take that? What do you think of Jim Rose so far? Kind of that whole change. How did that affect you? How did you do that?
It was hard, a little bit because before Coach Washington did leave, we all had a linebackers meeting. He was talking about how we're going to shock the country and show everybody who Ohio State linebackers are. And the next day, hear that he's gone, kind of hurt because he was the guy that was recruiting me for 2 years. But I understand that it is a business, and Ohio State's going to replace good coaches with good coaches too. So Coach Knowles has been doing a great job, and all the new defensive coaches have been doing a great job too.
Do you have any feel for him yet?
Yeah, he's cool. He's a little mellow, but he's cool.
Have you kind of looked at how you might fit in some of the tweaks that are probably going to make to the defense?
Yeah, they said that they still want me at the wheel spot. They had the Leo roaming around the defensive line, but they want me at the wheel spot for sure.
How would you describe yourself as a player?
A guy who always gives 110% as long as he can. Blood, sweat, and tears, leave it out on the field. Always team player. If I got to block, I'll block. If I got to be a distraction, I'll be a distraction. It doesn't matter what it is. I just want to see my team succeed.
CJ, you and Gabe early on were guys that were pledged into this class at a position of need at Ohio State. How much of the discussion has that been among you all early, understanding that they need you guys, and how that potentially motivates, excites, gets you going early in your career?
For me and Gabe, because that's my roommate as well, but we kind of talk about that sometimes, just coming in here, shocking the world, always giving 110% like I keep saying, just leaving out all on the field, trying to learn the defense. It is a lot much more than high school defense. It was more complex, but we're ready for it for sure.
CJ, a lot of freshmen played last year, started offense and defense. Did you guys take note of that as a class? Like there's a chance to come in, like if you're good enough, you can play right away?
Yeah, but we understand that once we come in, that nothing's promised to us. So it's all about work and how hard you want it and how hard, because it's not just the football aspect, it's academics as well. So, you got to handle things on and off the field. There's watching film that's, like I said, giving 110% on the field, paying attention in class, making sure you're going to your tutor and all that other stuff.
Will you kind of go to guys like Denzel Bird who started right away as freshmen for pointers or things like that?
Yeah, I go to I talk to Denzel and Trey a lot, just to get a feel on how it affected them, their mindset. I also talk to them sometimes about the NIL deals and things like that too. So.
When you keep referencing this shock the world for the linebacker unit there, what's the mood like that you've sensed from 2 or 3 weeks of being in that? Damaged pride or whatever, they're trying to bounce back from the last couple of years. What's it been like in there? What are the conversations like?
All the linebackers love each other, that's for sure. But all the linebackers also want to see each other succeed. Right now, I'm working out with Tommy Eichenberg, that's my partner in the weight room. Man, it's crazy. But it gets you right. He's teaching me how to be a Ohio State linebacker. So we all love each other, that's for sure, and we all want to be successful.
I think these workouts tend to be for the freshmen who come in and not used to the intensity. What was it like for you?
It really wasn't that bad for me because my cousin Rob Langer, she went here, and once I committed here, I worked out with him for a couple of months in the summer. But before my junior year and then after my junior year, I worked with him as well. So some of the stuff I'm familiar with, but the tempo, that's really all that's different.
What's the relationship?
Oh, me and BP, that's my cousin.
Okay. How's he doing?
He's good, trying to figure out what he wants to do. He still wants to make it to the league, but I talked to him a little bit. So.
How are you doing?
His mom is my dad's sister.
How much of an advantage does that give you? At least you have somebody who can tell you what to expect and has been through it.
Yeah, he just keeps telling me to get my mind right, make sure I come in and stay focused, and not try to slack or anything like that.
Did I hear you right? Did you mention that Leo position when you're talking about what you've been playing so far?
No, that's I mentioned that he wants me at the Will spot and the Leo spot so he can be roaming around. I think that's what Caden Curry is going to be doing.
Okay. Well, what is just as an athlete, what do you feel like is the most important thing you have to accomplish this winter heading into the spring?
Learning the playbook, because I feel like if I learn the playbook and I keep doing what I'm doing in the weight room, eventually once we get on the field, then I will show that I am capable of playing. So.
CJ, what's just the reality of being an Ohio State football player so far compared to your expectations coming in?
It's still kind of crazy that I am here, because a couple months ago I was still in high school. But yeah, the expectations really haven't changed for me because once I was in high school, I still had I still have the same mindset that I had back then, which was to just come in and just work. Because I know a lot of people feel like I have a target on my back a little bit, but got to work for sure.
Has there been anything that's been particularly eye-opening about your first month here?
Not really, because I've been up here a lot. So I came to every home game, chill with a lot of players, so I'm kind of already familiar with everybody.
CJ, obviously you were a big part in kind of developing this class, bringing in, recruiting guys once you were yourself recruited. And I'm curious, now that you've been around a group of them, a part of the same team, living together, things like that. I mean, are the guys around you what you expected them to be? Is it why you recruited them to come to Ohio State, or what has that been like actually as an earlier enrollee?
Well, it really wasn't just me recruiting them. That's another reason why. Like the Captain Buckeye thing is cool. I like it, but it's not all just me. It's the coaches, it's the players, it's their decision. I make sure that the recruits know that it's their decision. I'm not going to force them to come to Ohio State. But yeah, everybody here it's the same thing because we talk over social media. We have our own little group chat, but everybody's still the same.
Yeah, I know you locked in like that earlier, but have you had any level of a relationship with Coach Knowles before you got hired here?
No, I actually I paid attention to their defense a lot though because I seen they kept crawling higher and higher in the rankings. So I watched their game against Baylor, and I think they lost, but I paid attention to it for sure. And kind of crazy the week after. Not the week after, but a couple weeks after, he ended up taking the DC job at Ohio State.
So early first impressions. I know you haven't been around him much. Early first impressions of him.
Well, just looking at the defense, he likes to get after the quarterback. Excuse me. But I paid attention to the numbers while he was at Ohio State, but Oklahoma State, and every year he was there, they got better in every category. So I like that for sure. Him as a coach, he's a great guy. Me and him went to Sonny's game a couple weeks ago. Just chopping up with him and chopping up with Sonny's dad because Sonny's dad went here as a linebacker, so everything. He's a good guy.
You mentioned the Captain Buckeye thing. Is that a pressure that you want? Like, is that something that you kind of, I don't know, like, how do you respond to that? Because it seems like there's a lot of pressure associated with it already calling you, say, a Buckeye or a captain and like this leader of a class. I mean, does that stress you out? Is that a pressure that you kind of want coming into your freshman year here, or what? How do you respond?
It really doesn't affect me because, like, to me, it's just a nickname. But I understand that to Ohio State, it means a lot much more than that. And with the pressure thing, pressure makes diamonds. So that's all I'm worried about.
It's only two linebackers playing officially.
Yeah.
Obviously, linebackers can play if it's only two linebackers spots. There's a lot of you guys in the room, the new assistant coach, but you're still a five-star recruit, and there's like some expectation that you might be able to carve out a role here. What do you think you need to do over the next 9 months to make that happen?
Just keep doing what I'm doing on the field, and learn the playbook the best way I can.
Because I know I watching some of these guys you built a relationship with the entire time, but kind of getting a new fresh set of eyes in here, do you feel like there's an opportunity that maybe wouldn't have been there?
Yeah, I feel that. I feel that for sure because it's the first time the other guys are meeting the new coaches as well if they weren't already being recruited by them when they were in high school. So I feel like all of us are getting a fresh new start and they're getting to see who's the guys. So.
What's it like to be the headliner of a class, CJ, that's such an elite class? You guys are ranked 4th in the country. You're the number 1 ranked recruit in the class. What's that like for you?
It's a true blessing. I really wouldn't be ranked as high as I was if it wasn't for my mom and God. But like I said, I pay attention to the rankings, and the rankings, I like where I'm at, but the rankings doesn't really mean anything to me.
What do people see in you that makes you think that guy?
What do you mean?
Meaning you are, basically the highest rated guy in this club. What do you think people see in you that they like? You understand what I'm saying? I mean,
yeah. So
as a football guy.
I'm very versatile because if you watch my film, I play offense, defense, play punt, kick, return as well, and you really don't see a lot of linebackers doing that. But some of the clips on my highlight film as well, I'm blocking, showing that I am a team player, showing you that I can do more things, and whatever coach needs me to do, I'll do it. So.
CJ, what is the feeling you guys coming in about what needs to get fixed about this defense? And literally, I guess you've gotten to know Coach Knowles. What this tells you he's the guy? What stands out about him, I guess?
I haven't really talked to him as much, but when I do talk to him, he's all about changing everything. Same thing with Coach Nick. We're starting on a new path. We got a team meeting and everything, just focusing and getting back to a national championship.
Well, when you watched that defense last year on television, what did you see, or you watched it live, what did you see that
maybe does need to get fixed? What stood out to you about that?
I just felt like we just had a bad day, but being Ohio State and being such a top program in the country, I feel like you can't really have a bad day or get bashed. So I think that we just need to understand that and pick everything up.
How many guys do you know at Notre Dame?
I know a couple.
So are you already starting to, you guys have any back and forth to be ready for that? What's going to be your first meeting? Headliner, right?
Not really. I talked to Emil and I joke with him because we grew up with each other. We played basketball against each other. And I talked to Zoe, Sonny's brother, and me and Sonny just joke with him because it's kind of crazy how Sonny's first game is going to be against his brother. It's kind of cool too, in front of their father too. So that's really the only two guys I really talk to who's going to Notre Dame.
So growing up in the Dayton area, were you an Ohio State fan for as long as you can remember? Did you just talk about your fandom growing up? Were you rooting for maybe another program when you were a little kid?
Yeah, so with me, I really don't even have a favorite team that includes basketball, NFL, college. I really just like players. Like I just gravitate to players. When I was younger, I would always gravitate to Braxton Miller. He's from my hometown. He went here. Every time I would just turn on TV and see Ohio State. Seeing him doing some crazy runs, doing some crazy passes, spin moves, things like that. And as I got older, me and him kind of built a bond with each other because I was blessed with the opportunity to meet him a couple times, and my trainer trained him as well. So as I'm up here, that's kind of another guy that I talk to about everything. So.
And you guys still keep in touch?
Yeah.
Pretty close to this day?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Like you said, he was just as outstanding as you could get as a football player and stuff.
Exactly.
His career's come and gone, you know what I mean? What does it tell you about the sport you're in and how you gotta get it done sooner rather than later? You understand what I'm saying, CJ?
Yeah.
Nothing's a given.
Yeah, like you said, nothing's a given, nothing's really promised. But he's basically just teaching me how to move around Ohio State, and if I do get to the league, how to carry myself and what I need to do and what I don't need to do, things like that. Because he's still very successful what he's doing right now.
He's kind of in the middle of building his own, I don't know, brand is the word, but he's got a lot of different things going on. So what is it like to watch a guy like that as he's kind of launching all these different habits and if you're having a relationship with him?
It's really cool because I still talk to other players as well. I'm talking to Braxton, I talk to Zeke, Paris Campbell, Troy Smith, because Braxton and Troy had a little camp together just a couple months ago. But you get a different aspect from everybody because people are all on different paths.
Hey, if things go well for you this spring and then in preseason, where do you feel like you'll end up playing? What's the spot you think you'll see in this Knowles defense?
He wants me to play the will, but like I said, I'll play wherever he needs me to play.
Does that excite you though? He wants you to play the will? I mean, that's sort of where the funnel goes, isn't it?
Yeah. I seen the guy who played will for Oklahoma State this past year had over 100 tackles, and he blitzed a lot. Me personally, I love getting after the quarterback, so I like that a lot.
Did you get to watch any of the Oklahoma State defense? Have you watched it at all? I mean, with that stand-up Leo a lot, moving around and things. It's almost like it's a 4-2-5, but it's more like a 3.5, 2.5.
Yeah.
What just stood out about it? I mean, a little bit you've seen that.
I really only watched the
Baylor game.
The Baylor game, thank you. But that was really it. But I watched a little bit of film against when they played Notre Dame. But yeah, I really like that defense a lot.
Yeah, why? I mean, what stands out about it from what you can?
They get after the quarterback, and the DBs, they make sure that they lock everything down just for a couple seconds, just so you guys can't get to the quarterback.
Who else is going to be playing will?
I think still Show going to be playing will. Right now, I think Cody, and right now, obviously, I don't really know that much. about where everybody's going to be playing, but I think
I know it's early.
Yeah.
Steele is such an interesting story with him moving from running back. What do you, and then having such a good year last year at linebacker. What do you think about that?
I think it was really well. It went really well for him. He's a great guy. He's a great player. I feel like me and him can probably go back and forth and bounce off of each other, because if he needs a breather, I can go in and do what he does, things like that. We both bring separate things to the table, but both of us can be very effective in the defense.
CJ, you obviously weren't here last year, but what do you sense from the veterans about how much they want to make amends, how much they have to prove this year as a defense after what happened last year?
They want it bad, that's for sure. Team meeting, things got really serious, and you can tell like everything's around here is about to change.
CJ, you were really like the leader of this recruiting class, always like reaching out to other players. Like, how much of a responsibility did you take on that, and how proud are you that you were able to, help put one of the best classes in the country together?
It's cool that I feel like it really wasn't all just me, because like I said, it's, the coaches, it's their decision. I don't really force that upon anybody, but it's kind of cool seeing that everything that just fell into place. Keon, I remember when he was committed to Arizona State, not Arizona State, but Arizona, and I text him almost every day, just, come to Ohio State, come to Ohio State, come to Ohio State. I feel like he's going to be a really big piece of the offense too, because he's that guy.
Got about 5 minutes for CJ and Jair.
How do you feel your Dayton roots, your Dayton connection, being an in-state guy, how do you feel like that's going to be advantageous to you now that you are part of the Ohio State roster?
I take pride in it a little bit, because I'm an Ohio guy going here at Ohio State. So, like I said, it's different for sure. But I feel like all the rivalries and the losses, I take them to heart. So, I'm trying to win a national championship and get back to where we were in 2014.
What are your early impressions of a guy like Chip, who just transferred to Ohio State? He's not a true freshman like you are, but what's he going to bring? Because he's also switching positions as well.
Yeah, Chip's very versatile. He's a great guy as well. Me and him kind of gravitated to each other once he did move up here, because I'm not gonna say he's really quiet, but he really doesn't talk to anybody. But we kind of similar. We was talking about the defense and how well we both want to be successful and what we want to do. That's a guy that I want to hang around a lot, build a relationship with.
I know you guys don't play the same position, but since you just brought him up, when you got a chance to go to California and see Keon in person for the first, I think that was the first time you saw him play in person?
Keon Grace?
Yeah.
I think it was, yeah.
Okay. What did you think of him, seeing him in person? Given how that his kind of recruitment played out.
Well, at first, he was another guy that was very, flew under the radar. It really wasn't looked at. But as he went to the camps, the 7-on-7s, he went to opening and did what he did at the opening, because he played very well at the opening. He crawled up the rankings, and I still feel like, me personally, I feel like he's still too good. But like I said, he's going to be that guy.
There's a long lineage of great linebackers to play at Ohio State still, like the league right now, like Jerome Baker, the one that comes to mind now. But how much did that influence you coming to Ohio State? How much do you think about that every day when you practice? Like, these are the guys who've done it at my position. I want to be that next guy.
I really watch a lot of past Ohio State football players. I just want to bring that success back, because I think like in the past couple of years, guys have been putting down Ohio State's linebackers, talking about how they aren't what they used to be and things like that. But I want to bring that part back to Ohio State. Like the Ryan Shaziers, like you said, Jerome Bakers, Malik McMillan, things like that. I want to bring that stuff back.
How big an Ohio State fan were you growing up?
I supported the team. I knew a couple guys on the team, but like I said, I really wasn't just like a one-team guy. I supported guys around the country.
Is there anything particular that you've learned so far from working with Coach Knowles?
You give him 110% every time that you can, you'll have a good relationship with him. He doesn't like guys that give half effort. or he wants guys that's always going to you give it 110% to him, he's going to give 110% back to you. And if you want to be successful, he'll help you, that's for sure.
I know that you were really close with Coach Washington during the recruiting process. Was that difficult when you found out he wasn't going to be back this year?
It was, but it wasn't at the same time because I understand, like I say, it's a business. So, Ohio State's going to replace good coaches with good coaches as well. So.
That last conversation you had with him was, how would you describe it? Was it emotional? And did you talk to him after he left?
Yeah, I talked to him. I told him thank you for everything that he's done for the past 2 years for me and my family. Always being there for me. And once I seen that he took the job at Notre Dame, I told him looking forward to seeing him week 1. So.
All right. Thank you, CJ.
Thank you, CJ.
Yep.